Alright, well, here it is, guys. It took me 4 months to finish it, but this is the Great Wall Hobby Pack 44. This is the Rheinmetall version, and with the accessory turned aluminum barrel. It's actually in 3 pieces. So you have muzzle brake, thin barrel part, and then the large diameter barrel at the end. And I can say without hesitation that it is by far the most complicated kit I have ever built. The lengthiest project, the hardest project I've ever tackled. But as you can see, the assembly is it's a nice finished piece. You know, of course, as you can tell, I'm not done. Obviously, I've got to paint and weather it, but you can see, for example, the intricate gunner station. This comprises right here roughly 14 pieces. The brass, you know, pneumatic hydraulic cylinders for the recoil and elevation mechanism. I modeled the kit with the breech open because I'm going to be using this RB Models turn ammunition set for this gun. There was just a handful of photo etch parts on the kit, but it's yeah, it's very detailed. For the most part, I want to say the kit was about 75–80% straightforward to build. The instructions were wrong in a couple of places. Some of the illustrations were backwards; they were literally inverted. But other than that, it was pretty good. I had some issues trying to get some of the geometry correct. And the only real major failure on a part standpoint I had was, actually, let me draw your attention to right here, these 2 brass rods. So these are the coarse elevation and windage adjustment handles for the gun the crew would operate. So if they needed to move the gun a bunch, they'd crank on these handles. There were 2 plastic drive shafts which were supposed to fit into these slots. They just were not long enough. So I fabricated 0.2mm brass rod, or cut it rather, to fit this slot. I was lucky and able to use the locating buttons that were from the original kit to mount these, but it was pretty tricky because it took me 4 or 5 attempts to get these correct, and then it took me 10 or 12 tries to actually get them in here and then get them on with some CA glue. Now, the gun was originally designed to be workable, but I used CA glue to permanently glue this into position because with the barrel, oops, let me zoom back out, it's a little front heavy. So I went ahead and permanently glued it in place. I mean, after all, I'm not going to play with it, but I'm pretty pleased with the way it looks. It is extremely detailed, and I'm actually going to go ahead and finish priming it. There was a couple of places that I missed priming initially in a previous update video. So if you guys bear with me, I'm going to fire up the airbrush and we're going to do some priming. So be right back, guys. Alright guys, so here we are, just about ready to get started priming. Just need to fire up my compressor here first. So to do this today, I will be using my Grex Tritium TG3 airbrush, which came originally with a 0.3mm needle nozzle. I have replaced it with a 0.5mm just to make the rod coverage a little easier, just give me a little wider spray pattern to do this priming. So, and what we'll be using today to prime the model is the Vallejo acrylic polyurethane surface primer in the red brown color, which is to simulate the red oxide primer color that late war German vehicles were painted in. And that's going to be my base coat, and then I'm going to follow with some chipping effects, and then with a Dunkelgelb pattern on top of this. To make the spraying easier, I will be using the Vallejo Airbrush Flow Improver, which is also a relatively new product. I tested this for the first time the last time I primed this, and it worked beautifully. Really kept it from clogging, and the Vallejo products are notorious for clogging the needle on your airbrush. So. Alright guys, we'll get right back and just need to fill up the paint, and alright, here we go. stop for a second and refill the paint gun. This 0.5mm needle really goes through the paint in a hurry. All right, and that is it. So there it is, the Great Wall Hobby Pack 44 primed and ready to go. So I screwed up and didn't realize I didn't have the camera going, so you guys missed out on a lot of that. But so thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.